Hi, in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to complete activity number 2 in our Google Docs Drive unit, lesson 1.2 Sportsmanship Message. With this activity, you will be showing me that you know how to share a document. Before we get started, what I'd like for you to do is set up your desktop the way that you see mine here. In one window, you should have this activity open with the tutorial playing. And in your second window, you should have your My Docs folder open, which should be in your 2022 Mrs. Norris folder, which will be on your drive. So if you could please pause this tutorial and set up your desktop the way that you see mine here, we'll get started in just a moment. Okay, so with this activity today, you're going to be answering the question, how do I use Google Apps to create, collaborate, and share documents effectively? Why do you need to learn it? Understanding how to use productivity tools correctly will make creating, editing, and sharing documents easier and will help me be more marketable in the future. How will I know that I have learned it? I can type a paragraph and share a document with 100% accuracy. So this activity, you will have to get a 10 out of 10 to be able to move on to the next activity. So what we can see here is there's a little overview if you'd like to pause this tutorial and read it to yourself. But I do want to go over the list of new skills that we will be learning. Some of this will be review for most of you. Some of it might be something new. So we're going to enter text, share a document, assign permissions, add a note, download this as a PDF, and sort our files. Okay. So some of these we may go through, some of them we may skip ahead because we already know how to do them. All right. And then underneath there, we see our text that we are meant to copy. So before we move on to anything, I'm going to go ahead and open up a new document in my Docs folder. So my drive should be open to my Docs folder where I already have lesson 1.1. So I'm going to go ahead and click the new button, and I'm going to scroll down to new docs, and a new doc will open up for me. In the top left-hand corner where it says Untitled Document, I'm going to click on that section where it says Untitled Document, and I'm going to put my first and last name. So you put your first and last name. Should we get space here? And lesson 1.1 or 1.2. Okay, so first and last name, lesson 1.2, and I'm going to go ahead and hit return to make sure that that's saved. So I can see it says saved to drive here. Okay. Now I shouldn't have to move this as I've had to do with previous files because I've already saved it in my Google Docs, my Docs folder. So I shouldn't have to move it. But if I want to confirm, the arrow, the folder with the arrow on it is my move folder. So if I click on it, it should already say my docs, and I should see this actual document in that folder. So since I know I don't have to move it, I'm going to go ahead and X out of here. So can you pause the tutorial and make sure that your document is being saved in the right spot? All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and type the text that we see on the assignment page. Now, this is not a time to make any changes to the font or the font size or the font color. We're just going to type it exactly as we see it here. Now, one thing that I've learned over time is that some students will see that there is a stop after a certain word, and it goes down on the next line to continue the sentence. So they will hit return and go down to the next line. For some of you, you need to understand that you don't have to do that with a document. With a document, it will automatically take you to the next line when the line that you are on is full. So you don't have to hit the return button unless you are starting a new paragraph. Okay. With this, we're not starting a new paragraph at all, so we don't have to hit the tab button to indent. All we're going to do is just type exactly what we see. Again, we don't have to stop after the word Jackson and hit return to go to the next line. because Google Docs will do that for us. So let's go ahead and pause this tutorial and copy the text on this image exactly as you see here, making no changes to font size, font color, or anything like that. So pause the tutorial and copy that text. So as you can see, I've done exactly what you should have done as well, and I've copied the text exactly as I see it. I haven't made any changes to the font or the font size, and I didn't stop after words like Jackson to hit return and go to the next line. I let the Google Doc do it for me. So your document should look something similar to what mine is right here, okay? So now what I want you to do is I want you to pretend as if you are sharing this document with me. Now you're not going to actually share it with me. I don't need 125 copies of a sportsmanship message, but you are going to show me that you know how to do it and you know how to change the permissions. So in the top right hand corner, I'm going to click on the share button. And where it says add people and groups, I'm going to type, you will type mine, MNORRIS. I should pop up. If not, continue at lbschools.net. So you could pause the tutorial now and do that for me. Please don't hit done. We're just typing in my name. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got myself on here. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to make me an editor. Just for, again, you're not actually going to share this with me. All you're doing is showing me that you know how to do it. So on the right hand side here, we have our menu. If I click on it, we have viewer, commenter, or editor. And now at this point, you're allowed to add an expiration. So if you only want me to be an editor for a short amount of time, maybe a week or until the end of the semester, you can add that date. But we're just going to keep it at editor. And where it says message, you're going to type the following message. Please, PROOFREAD, please proofread, again, PROOFREAD, before I send to Mr. PEARLMAN, Mr. Perlman. That's our pretend principal for this activity. So please proofread before I send to Mr. Perlman. If you could go ahead and pause this tutorial and write that message, don't hit send, just write the message. Okay, so you have shared it with me. You've made me an editor. You've made sure that notify people is checked off, which is standard. And you've typed the message, please proofread before I send to Mr. Perlman. Again, you are not sending this to me, okay? Instead, what we're going to do is take a screenshot of what we have here. So a reminder of how to do a screenshot on a Mac, since that's what we are working on at school. You're going to hold the shift button, excuse me, and the command button and the number 4 all at once. So I'm going to go shift, command, 4. You can see that my cursor has turned into the crosshairs. So I'm going to start up here in the top left hand corner, excuse me. And I'm going to click and drag my mouse just to take a picture of my background as well as that share window. And then when I let go, I now have this picture here in the bottom corner. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel on the share option because you're not actually sharing it with me. So go ahead and before we do that, pause this tutorial, take your screenshot, and then we will move on. All right, so you should have canceled sharing this document with me. If you haven't done so yet, just make sure that you cancel. And then you can click done and it will take you back to your document. Now what we need to do is insert that picture into the document because what you are going to send me is what you've typed up and an inclusion of that screenshot that you just took. So I'm at the end of my paragraph here, and I'm going to hit the return button on my keyboard 2 times. And then I'm going to go to Insert, Image, and I want to upload this image from my computer. Okay. Now I didn't rename this one because I'm just going to end up throwing it away anyway. So I'm going to find it pretty quickly on my desktop. Yours may be in your downloads folder. So because I don't have very much on my desktop, my stuff is all organized into folders anyway. I can find it quickly. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to open it, and it's going to show up on my screen. So at the top, I have my paragraph that I've typed into my document, and underneath it, I have that screenshot that I just took. So if you could please pause this tutorial and insert your screenshot into the document, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so now that I have my paragraph and I have my screenshot, I'm ready to download this and submit it onto Canvas. So I'm going to go to File, Download, and you're only allowed to upload a PDF. So I'm going to find PDF document, and I'm going to download this. This will save onto my desktop. Now, when you are putting this into or submitting this into Canvas, when you scroll down on your screen, what you will have is a little rocket ship. If you click on that rocket ship, you can find this PDF to submit. Once the PDF loads, which means the blue bar next to the name of that document turns solid blue, and your submit assignment button turns dark blue as well, you can submit the assignment, and then you should have confetti to show that your submission was accepted. Okay, so again, you're going to submit this PDF onto Canvas. This is an assignment that will require me to grade it because you do need to have 100% accuracy to move on to the next assignment. So whatever other assignments you have open, possibly in coding or something like that, you can move on to that. If you are done with everything for the week, raise your hand and let me know, and I will help you with your next steps.